They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. On the give, it's Williams. That's the way you want to run it on 1st down. A gain of 7. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Here's the give up the middle with Williams. And the Rams are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Here's a run. And he's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. Couldn't reach that ball across, setting up 2nd and goal. A little closer. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Powering forward. He's in. Touchdown, LA. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
Joshua Carty comes out now for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Rams will take a 7-0 lead.
Bronco, give me a hand.
Here's Carty now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. Jalen Darden now to return it. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Here comes the Seattle offense to take over for the first time. And leading them, Greg, the veteran out of West Virginia, it's Geno Smith.
You just can't say enough about Geno and his turnaround over the last couple of years, Mike. I mean, many thought he was destined to just be a career backup and just play out the rest of his career. And when things didn't play out at first, instead of just listening to those doubters, he just kept working on his craft. And next thing you know, he gets an opportunity with a new team, makes the most of it, and he's now solidified himself as a bona fide franchise quarterback in this league.
DK Metcalf. And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 73 yards. Touchdown, Seattle. Well, that was a pretty easy touchdown. He was wide open, Greg. Easy chance to close the deal, and they do with a touchdown.
And, Mike, it just appears to me that's just a breakdown defensively. You can't allow a receiver to not only be so open it's an easy pitch and catch, but then to have the space to operate after the catch to finish that one off in the end zone.
Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. Here's Smith to return it. Oh, he's got room past the 30. He'll wind up getting this all the way to the 45-yard line. The Rams offense ready to see the football for the second time. We'll try to break out of this deadlock. We are all even at 7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. 13 yards to start that drive. And a quick 1st down.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. unmask the defense, and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15.
Great pre-snap recognition here by the quarterback. He looks outside and sees man coverage, and he knows exactly where he's going to go with the ball. Now it's up to the receiver to create separation at the top of the route. Ball's on time, great placement, nice big pickup.
On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Williams. And not much there, down to about the 13. Here's a 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete. Cooper Kupp was the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd down. In motion, it's the tight end, Higbee. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. That is caught in the middle of the end zone. Cooper Kupp, touchdown, Los Angeles.
This is one of those cases, Mike, where the play caller understands, I got 3 points in my back pocket. There's no need here to be conservative. Let's keep this drive alive and see if we can come away with a touchdown. But instead of just trying to pick up the 1st down, they go for the big one, and it's a perfect throw, great catch, and they come away with 6.
The extra point from Carney is good. And the Rams will move out to a 14-7 lead. Here's Carney now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return is Darden. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time. Here comes Zach Charbonnet. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. He'll try again here. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Smith. Outright Smith and Jigba has it. And he will be out of bounds on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. They go 5 receivers for 3rd down and 4. From the shotgun, Smith. He gets that to his big target, Fant. He's going to have that 1st down, gain of 6. Sean McVay disagrees on the sideline, and he's throwing the red challenge flag.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Smith will give it to Charbonnet. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again here with Charbonnet. And he'll take this up, working towards the first down marker. He gets 5, but is just a little short of the first down. Here's third down and a few inches. From the gun, it's Gino. Got a man, it's Lockett. And it looks like he's going to have a first down. Nothing fancy there, short completion, but it yields a fresh set of downs.
So on these play calls, Mike, on 3rd and inches, typically how it goes is we're going to try to take a shot, then there's a medium zone option, and then the last resort is just pick up the first down with something underneath and get that fresh set of downs. So in this case, he settles for the underneath throw, but it's still enough to pick up the first down.
Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Smith. Get that one to Charbonnet, complete. And this one will not work. He goes out of bounds. They're going to drop 4 on that one.
What they teach these backs is when you catch a check down, immediately try to get vertical. Try to put a hole in the defense coming to rally tackle. So give credit to the defense here. They strung this out and made him go sideways, and they forced him to go so far sideways, he went out of bounds.
That ball is caught on the sideline and both feet in bounds. A big 3rd down pickup for a first down. That's his 2nd catch on the drive. This one is good for 20 yards. Sean McVay disagrees on the sideline, and he's throwing the red challenge flag. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over. Remember, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear, incontrovertible visual evidence to the contrary. In other words, it's got to be the truth. So the challenge, unsuccessful, and they are out of challenges now for the remainder of the game. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. Play action now. It's Gino. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Gino to throw. That's the one thing they couldn't have there, the sack that might take them out of field goal range.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
So it's 4th down. The Seahawks send out the Aussie Michael Dixon to punt. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. Here comes Cooper Kupp and the rest of the LA offense set for this next Rams possession. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. The drive begins with a run by Williams. And a nice run there. He'll get 9 yards, marked with 29. And he continues to have success running the ball here in the first half, as he's closing in on 100 yards already. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Working out of the gun, Stafford. He runs with it.
Yeah, that's a nice job. He's out of the pocket. He knows he doesn't need all that much for a first down. He's able to tuck it, get out of bounds, and keep this drive alive.
Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. They run over center with Williams. He is met and dropped. Good defense. Loss of a couple on that play.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
2nd down, it's Stafford. Nakua snags it over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big gain.
They'll run it with Williams. Two minutes remain here in this first half. Greg and I return to SoFi Stadium after a short break. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. From the gun, here's Stafford. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
He was brought down at his 49-yard line. A gain of 6 yards. It's 4th down.
So a 4th down, the Rams will send out Ethan Evans to punt. Back deep is Jalen Darden. The Seahawks offense headed back to take over once more. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. To throw, it's Smith. Nowhere to go. He is taken down. Now Seattle going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play. Now, Gino. Taking off. And he's able to take this for good yardage before sliding and hitting the deck to end the play.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, the intended receiver. And it's going to be 4th down. Here's Michael Dixon now, as he's on to punt for the 2nd straight drive. Here comes Smith on the return. And it'll be a good return. He's able to get it up past the 40-yard line. Kyron Williams and the Rams offense ready to get back to work. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap to Stafford. Pass caught right side by Higbee. First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down. Now a timeout Rams, that's number 2, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Stafford now to throw on first down. He's going to look deep, going to Kupp.
We've already seen these two guys connect for a touchdown in this game, and had they been on the same page there, I think they would have been able to add to that total. Unfortunately for them, just a little bit off, and it falls incomplete.
Now a second down throw for Stafford. He finds Kupp along the out route.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Reek Woolen that time. Good coverage, and he breaks it up.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner. The next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
This one runs out of steam. Off the crossbar and comes back. No good. And this is going to remain a one-possession game. Gino now on 1st and 10. Taking the deep shot for Smith and Jigba. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
Okay, Michael, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports Studios. This is the Halftime Report. The Rams got a nice throwback performance from their veteran quarterback, Matthew Stafford. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break. These two teams leaving the tunnel, and we'll head out with them. It's time to send it back over to Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. I like we're going to play a big role in who wins this one.
Joshua Carney to kick off for the Rams.
Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. On the return is Darden. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. the quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. They'll go play action. It's Smith. Over the middle, Metcalf has it. He's to the 15. And he will score. DK Metcalf. Touchdown, Seahawks. His 2nd catch of the game. And both have gone for touchdowns. Myers now to add the PAT. He's got it. And the Seahawks will tie things up. We are all even at 14. We are all square, 14 apiece the score as this one's away. Here's Smith to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Rams offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. This one, everything we could have hoped for to this point. All even at 14. They'll start this drive with first down. Now it's Williams. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. He's going to lose a yard. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Stafford. That finds Nakua downfield, complete. That one good for 26 yards.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
A give, and here comes Williams. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. They'll go with Williams. He'll work this ahead for 2, maybe 3. Stop is made by Jaron Reed. Here now, 3rd and 5. Throwing, Stafford. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
2nd and 7. It's another run here for Williams. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Taking off, he'll try to get there.
That's such a deflating feeling for a defense here on 3rd and short. They've got great coverage, but they don't account for the quarterback picking it up with his legs. It's exactly what he's able to do here on the scramble. Fresh set of downs.
Stafford now on first down. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Goes without saying, like, you have to be smart with the ball, especially down here in the red zone. You're already in scoring position. And I understand they're trying to come away with a touchdown, but at the very least, come away with 3. Worst case scenario is you turn the ball over and you come away with nothing.
Took that one outside, waiting for that cutback lane, but it never developed. No gain on the carry.
You could tell the entire time that running back is just looking for his crease to get vertical and cut back. But the defense does a great job. Inside-out pursuit, strings this ball out towards the sideline, nowhere to go, and they make a big stop for no gain.
Throw it on third down, Stafford. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
When you can bring cornerbacks on pressure, man, that changes everything for the defensive play caller. Offenses spend all week worrying about linebackers, defensive linemen. How are they going to protect the quarterback? But when you can time up a secondary pressure like this, man, oftentimes there's no answer for it.
So on comes Joshua Carty to try this field goal. This a 42-yard attempt. He makes up for the earlier miss. This time, the kick is good. And the Rams move out in front. The new score, 17-14.
Job number 1 on this drive, find a way to get the lead. They, of course, would have loved to score a touchdown, Mike. But 3 points here, that's a pretty good consolation prize as it moves him out in front.
On the return is Darden. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense and Geno Smith getting ready for their next possession. And I want to take you through the highlights here. They have been plentiful from the quarterback position. Has the offense running at a high efficiency throughout, and will try to sustain it here down the stretch. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Starting this drive on the ground, here comes Charbonnet. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down. Again, they'll give it to Charbonnet. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range. But for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
He's going to look deep here, looking for Lockett. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. Kicking time for the Seahawks. They'll punt this one away. A fair catch called and taken right at the 30-yard line. Here come the Rams as their offense trots back onto the field. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Cup in motion. On 1st down, it is Williams. And he's going to struggle to get back to the line. Maybe a yard. Tyrese Knight in on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 31-yard line.
Stafford now on 2nd down. That is caught downfield by Cup. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
And this is where the speed of your inside receivers are so critical. He lines up in the right slot. But Mike, look how far he covers to where he ended up receiving that ball. You can't have all day. Those defensive linemen, they are coming after your quarterback. So the speed in the slot is critical. That's a great example why.
Cup in motion. Here's a handoff to Williams. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The big guys in the middle of the defense, Mike, the defensive tackles. So often they're asked to do the dirty work. Keep the blockers off the linebackers. Let them run around and make all the plays. But in this case, this guy's able to shed his blocker, make the stop, and keep it to no gain.
On second down, here's Stafford. That's caught! He is in. Cooper Kupp, touchdown, Rams. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. A terrific play all the way around, finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Carney now to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Rams go up by 10. 24-14 is their lead. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports.
Joshua Carney to kick off for the Rams.
Here's Carney now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return is Darden. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. Well, Seahawks offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. That's complete. It's Metcalf. And he will take this one in. 70 yards. Touchdown, Seattle. That is his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3, a field goal here in the 4th quarter. So they've cut into the lead. Now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. Here's Smith to return it. Whoa! And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. Matthew Stafford and the Rams offense getting set to go again. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. On the give, it's Williams. And that'll be a pickup of 3. They face 2nd down and 7. They'll go again with Williams. And he'll weave his way down close to that 1st down. Going to come up just a little shy. It's going to be 3rd down and short. And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. The last run going to put him up over 100 yards for this one. They'll try to run for it with Williams. And he'll keep the drive moving. He's got the 1st down up to the 45.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did. Pick up the 1st down.
Now a 1st down throw for Stafford. Off-balance throw. It's complete. He's close to a 1st down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
Here's the give up the middle with Williams. And he'll work his way for about 4 yards. That's good enough for a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Cup in motion. On first down, right back to Williams. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. On second down, a run with Williams. And he's going to bring this one close to a first down. Looks like they'll mark him just a yard short. You don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. A run now with Rivers. Oh, the defense meets him in the backfield. They stopped him dead in his tracks and set up 4th down.
I think the decision of whether or not you kick the field goal or keep your offense on the field, Mike, comes down to, do you have a play on your call sheet you love? Do you have a critical down, 4th down play that you know is going to work? Because if you do, now's the time to dial it up, be aggressive, and extend this drive.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford will take a shot downfield, looking for Cup. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
An opportunity for what could be a game-sealing touchdown right here. First down and goal. They'll run. It's Williams. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Kyren Williams. Touchdown, L.A. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Here's Cardi now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return is Darden. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. There's DK Metcalf, he and the Seahawks offense set for their next drive. They'll start out first down and 10. Smith, RPO, and that's Lockett. Here's second down and 3. They'll drop to throw. Get that one to Charbonnet, complete.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
Smith from the gun on third down. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
A great pass rush is like a closer in baseball. When you bring them into the game, it's all but over. It's exactly the case here. It doesn't result necessarily in a sack, but it was the hit that altered the throw just enough to end that play before it started.
They'll run it and give it to the big guy. And he's going to have the Seahawks first down. as the defense cannot come up with the big play there. It's a gain of 8 on 4th and 2. They run with Charbonnet. And a nice gain there on 1st down. He takes it forward for 8 yards. Throwing on 2nd down, Smith. And this will be incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. He's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
He's going to air one out for Metcalf.
There's only a handful of guys in the league who legitimately have world-class speed, and he's one of them. I mean, he's the type of weapon that you 3 or 4 times a game have to just say, okay, my guy, he's faster than your guy. We're going to send him deep and let it fly. And even though that one falls incomplete, you have to continue to sprinkle that threat in because it makes everything else in your passing game that much easier.
Into the hands of his tight end, Barner. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. One timeout at their disposal, but the more pressing need, they have to score twice. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Geno. This one complete to his tight end, Fant. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
They'll come up for 1st and 10. Smith to throw. They'll set up the screen to Charbonnet. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, like, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan. And then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man. And it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
Oh, he's hit behind the line, and the ball is out. But he'll gather it back in.
These are the opportunities that just kill defensive coordinators. You got the ball loose. You did everything you want, but now you got to recover it. You need better pursuit to the ball, more bodies around the ball carrier, because when that ball pops out, you've got to be on it. These opportunities don't come around often, and when they do, you got to seize the moment.
They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down there, and that'll put a wrap on this one. Time has expired in this 4th quarter. So it's a win here for the Rams. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did. And that is the difference in this one. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Rams are victorious as we say so long from SoFi.